Hello, Libras. It's your girl GK again. I forgot to mention, because I just remembered, because I've been thinking about that dream since I awakened. But recalling back into the dream, when I went out onto the patio and I had this exchange with this young Caucasian male, there was an older Caucasian male on the balcony to the right of me, and he was smoking a cigarette because I suddenly started smelling the cigarette and I don't smoke cigarettes again. And that's kind of what sparked my recall back into this dream. So when I had this exchange with this young Caucasian male, there was an older gentleman to my right, and his balcony met mine. I don't know if some of you have seen those apartment buildings where the balconies are literally right next to each other, meaning that there's just a partition separating balconies, so your neighbor, no matter what floor, could literally just hop the wall and be on your patio. So it was this type of building. And he was hanging over the partition wall separating our balconies, and he was smoking a cigarette. He didn't have on any shirt, and he only had on boxers or shorts. But I think they were boxers, and they were striped. I don't remember the color, but they were striped. And he was smoking a cigarette, but he was hanging over the partition wall separating our patios on my side. So like when I walked out, I saw him, but my attention, of course, was on the gentleman who was actually on my gosh damn patio. So he had a big Santa belly too. Not Santa baby. He had a Santa belly. And he had glasses. And he had one of those George Jefferson haircuts, but it was white. It was either white or it was blonde. So he had, no hair on the top. He just had like the sides and the back. Y'all remember George Jefferson, some of y'all, his haircut. Anyways, this is what this gentleman looked like. And he had on glasses, and I want to say bifocals. They were square framed. They were kind of square. They were kind of rounded on the edges, but they were square frames. And he's just leaning on the partition wall, and he's smoking his cigarette. And I remember when I walked back into my apartment after the dude had started ascending back up to whatever floor he came from, I remember smelling that dude's cigarette, and I was irritated because I don't like cigarette smoke. So I'm walking back into my apartment through the sliding glass doors, and I just remembered smelling his cigarette as I was coming back into the house. So the smoking man, and his origin stems from the X-Files, for those of you who have been fans. The smoking man has come up in the readings before. And if I recall correctly, he was a Cancer. I feel like in the dream, the smoking man was a lookout for whoever this gentleman was that jumped down onto my patio to retrieve something. And the fact that, and this is why I had to come back, the fact that I didn't see exactly what he threw back up to a higher floor, but in my brain, in the dream, my brain said Mylar balloon. Now, the phrase came to me, what goes up must come down. So what comes down must also go back up. So I feel like because balloons, of course, they rise, this person is trying to affect your rise or your ascension. They're trying to steal something from you. Again, as I said in the first video, whatever this gentleman claimed he was retrieving off my patio, I didn't feel like it belonged to him. He was stealing something, so he was using a cover. Oh, well, I didn't have your number, so, I couldn't call you. But I feel like the smoking man, my next door neighbor who was on the right side of me, if you were to walk out of the sliding doors onto the patio in this dream, that neighbor was to the right side of me. So I feel like the smoking man was acting as a lookout. So I feel like the smoking man and this young Caucasian male were acting in collusion. So whatever this Caucasian young male was coming down to get, he was being told, by the neighbor that I wasn't home, or he was just acting as a lookout. They are working together. So I'm not sure what may happen in Libra season, because I feel like this again is significant to Libra season. but someone is thinking about a gosh damn theft, and they're going to use some type of ruse. Like, oh, well, I didn't have your number. I couldn't get in contact with you. I didn't know if you were home. So I just came right the fuck over or in. So there's that, Libras. Just wanted to pop back in to leave you with that because it came back up. Again, I love all of you. Please do continue to utilize your own intuition and discernment to make the very best decisions for your highest good. Libras, I know you will. And I love you for it. United we stand, together we rise. Holla at your girl. Peace.